The Brandon Aiyuk has demanded a trade, the latest in the As the World Turns saga between he and the San Francisco 49ers. You've had someone in the front office in San Francisco get their word out via Adam Schefter, who, in a very Adam Schefter-y kind of way, said San Francisco has no interest at this time in trading Brandon Aiyuk. Several players in the past have demanded trades, and they're still 49ers. So we're at an impasse, kind of, but this is as escalated as Ayuk can make it. Again, time is against him. The shot clock is against him. The current CBA, contract leverage, all against Ayuk. So his goal, I still think, is the same: to get paid, to get that premium amount, and not have to play on a franchise tag or whatever. He wants to secure the big payday, which I totally understand. It's not in San Francisco's best interest to do that at this point. They've got not that much room. They've got a huge salary outlay that's coming next year, probably, to Brock Purdy, because they've got a quarterback who's at least good enough in Kyle Shanahan's system for them to win an awful lot of games. And they've got Ayuk basically for about $28 million, $29 million over the next 2 years with a Super Bowl window. So I get it. I get how everybody's at an impasse. How does this affect us? We'll get to that here in a second. Want to start super quick. Boys in the booth here, Ryan, Darius are both here. Home run derby last night was fine. A little too long. Even with the new streamline changes to go for 3 minutes and the limited number of pitches, so guys don't have time to take a whole bunch. It still took 3 hours, which just feels like a little bit too long. But in general, I thought the format was fine. We didn't have that signature memorable moment. I always refer to that Josh Hamilton time in Yankee Stadium. He didn't win the home run derby, but that's all anyone remembers from that year, was that electric round. There were a couple fun moments, right, where Bobby Witt was trying to rally down to his last swing, hit that 426-foot home run to get himself another out. There were some cool moments last night overall, but I thought kind of a C grade. Nothing wrong with it, but nothing great.
Yeah, that was kind of my takeaway as well. There wasn't really like a signature moment. And even if there was, like the signature moment was probably the swing off from Teoscar Hernandez and Alec Boehm to get to the finals to face
Mm-hmm.
Bobby Witt. But other than that, like there just wasn't really any main takeaway. Like it was kind of a relatively boring home run derby. There weren't any crazy home run shots or crazy exit velocities. So it was just fine. I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
That was
so
pretty
I
much it.
think what happened, and of course my pick was out in the first round. Just the special Danny Rouillet curse, right? I like Pete Alonso. Fart noise gone immediately. The prohibitive favorite, by the way. And it's not like I was like doing some kind of weird, obscure thing. But I'm so terrible at that, picking things that are going to happen. But I think not having his presence, because he's so good, you know, as a big, strong, huge dude, doesn't have to do max effort. So you think maybe a little bit less tired, could have sustained himself a little bit longer and, put up one of those incredible rounds, but wasn't meant to be. Again, thought it was fine. Nothing wrong with it. Good summer television. So I was able to watch that and a couple more episodes of Receiver and Sprint and all the good content that's going on. So that was that. Let's get to right now. So Mike Garafolo reports that Brandon Aiyuk would like a trade. Moments later, as I referenced, Adam Schefter did the kind of, well, the organization has something to say about that. Sources, this is what Schefter tweets. Other teams have reached out and spoken to San Francisco, have been told that the 49ers have no intention of trading disgruntled wide receiver Brandon Aiyuk, who has officially requested a trade. 49ers open training camp next week. So I don't know. It's obviously newsworthy. I'm not telling you it's not. We're going to spend a lot of time on this today because it's another reminder. It's a window to get into Washington. I'll tell you how in a second. But this is the last best effort from Aiyuk and his camp, as I said, to get what they want. That's not either. He wants that big contract. If it's with San Francisco, all the better. If it's with someone else, that's fine too. But that's what he would like. He would like to get his turn in line. And I don't want to say skip the queue because he sees what happens. You see what happens to guys like T. Higgins, right? They couldn't come to a deal. He's got to play on the franchise tag. Guys don't want to do that. Stuff happens, man. I understand in a violent collision-based sport like this one, where your career can be altered on any given play, and especially what happens in San Francisco, those guys have to block. Those guys have to be physical. And Aiyuk and both Deebo Samuel both are physical, punishing type receivers. So you're going to take on more contact. You're not just a Deshaun Jackson deep threat that's barely getting touched by anybody. And he was always hurt too. So I understand the goings on here, what's happening. Guys don't want to play on the franchise tag. Guys want the respect. They want the contract, etc. And San Francisco is going, we have a Super Bowl caliber team. When the majority of our key players are healthy, we go to the NFC title game. We got upset once by the Eagles. The other years we go to the Super Bowl, and we've lost there too. They are knocking on the door. They are excellent. They are the favorite to come out of the NFC, and they should be, right? They're really, really good. And Aiyuk is a huge part of that. He's their more traditional number one receiver. Samuel's kind of this, the elite version of the Swiss Army knife. He does a little bit of everything, and he'll have huge weeks. It always depends on the game plan, opportunity, etc. It might be out of the backfield. It might be in the slot. It might be on a reverse. It might be, running around the secondary like anyone else. But Aiyuk is more traditional. He, to me, is that Michael Irvin style receiver, not like a relentless cheater who pushed off every single time he caught a pass and should have been called for offensive pass interference every single reception. Probably should have ended his career with 10 catches for 50 yards. But I digress. Aiyuk has that physicality, the great hands, you're just enough, maybe kind of intermediate speed, not the deep speed all the time, but he can still do it. He can do everything. I think he's awesome. And Grant and I have disagreed a little bit about where Brandon Aiyuk ranks. And my point is, if he got a huge featured role on another offense, a decent one, I think he'd put up better numbers than a huge percentage of receivers in this league. So in other words, if he had the Tyreek Hill role in Miami, I don't think he'd be as good as Tyreek Hill. I don't think he'd be as good as Jefferson or Chase or, maybe a handful of guys. I think he's at that Devontae Adams level right now. I love Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams, in a year where Derek Carr got benched and threw for, 26 touchdowns, I think Adams had like 15 of them a couple seasons ago. I think Aiyuk could do something like that. If you put him with a Trevor Lawrence, you put him with, God forbid, like a Pat Mahomes or something like that. I think Aiyuk is a star whose career arc didn't begin immediately as stardom, so we don't think of him the right way. In other words, think of those rookie receivers. Jamar Chase hits the ground running. Justin Jefferson is setting rookie records. So we think of those guys, rightfully so, by the way, as the best in the game, and they are. They're superstars. Aiyuk didn't start out that way. So because he didn't begin at this immediate, 1,300-yard, 10-touchdown rookie season, we don't think of him in the way that I think he deserves to be thought of. He has steadily improved every season. Last year was his best year, and I don't think he's done. I think he's got those kinds of years, a whole bunch of them, I think, quite frankly, in the cards over the next 5-6 seasons. And so why do I keep bringing up Brandon Aiyuk? I know he requested the trade. You can't help but make connections to Washington. Both the friendship that he and Jaden Daniels share. I don't know if you guys have seen any documentation on that. I don't know if you guys have noticed any of that, but there's been plenty of it. Here is my contention. And here is where the smarter people than me, the better football people than me, I am not a football person. I'm just a pudgy radio guy with bags under his eyes, as you can see on the YouTube page. Okay, youtube.com. Check out Grant and Danny, 1067 The Fan. You'll find me and my stupid face looking right at you, camera. What's up, camera? All right. So another publication, another national media outlet ranked Washington skill guys low. CBS has their triplets, 26. You think of the triplets, the famous ones, Irvin, Emmitt Smith, Troy Aikman, right? That was kind of the original nickname there. A wide receiver 1, running back 1, quarterback 1, right? Their triplets are ranked 25th, I think. 25th, 26th. ESPN ranked their weapons, wide receiver, running back, tight end, 26th. I think Pro Football Focus, has a similar ranking for them. This is the drum I've been doing this on all offseason. You don't have the weapons. You don't have them. They're trying to see if they've got something at left tackle. Drafted a guy in the 3rd round without a ton of tackle experience. And a swing tackle. That's who they've got at that spot. Right tackle, you're kind of stuck with Andrew Wiley. I would have gone and done something. I would have overspent, but whatever. There wasn't much in the tackle market. I understand. Wide receiver, they think they're good. Somebody from the De'Ami Brown, Olamide Zaccheaus, Dax Milne, Mitchell Tinsley tier is going to step up, it seems like they think. They believe in a bounce back for Jahan Dotson. They think maybe they've got something Luke McCaffrey. And I hope they're right about all those things, by the way. But nobody else seems to think that, including me. Their rankings are so low in these deals. Now, if you're a relentless homer, you'd go, well, this front office is pretty smart. And I think they are, by the way. I think they've done a lot of stuff really, really well. I'm not just saying that to blow sunshine. But what I'm doing over here is calling balls and strikes. I think this is a ball. I think this is a miss. I think this is a huge miss, in fact. It's a giant miscalculation. This is a philosophical thing that I can't get around and I can't get past. We have seen too many quarterbacks go to bad teams and fail. And then in retrospect, doing the autopsy as to why, you go, well, they really didn't provide that guy with very much in retrospect. They didn't really do everything they could to help him. There wasn't the quarterback whisperer in the room. There wasn't the great support staff. This group, by the way, I think has done that. They were able to keep Tavita Pritchard. They gone and got one of the guys that was instrumental in Jalen Hurts' development, and Brian Johnson, who's now got a lesser role than he had in Philadelphia. You've got an offensive coordinator that's been around for some pretty good quarterbacking, right? Working with young guys. So they're trying to build the nest that way. Smart, correct, right thing to do. Awesome. The weaponry, I think they've made a pretty huge mistake. I think this is going to be the reason, if it doesn't, why it doesn't work. And I pray that I'm wrong. I hope Daniels is so good that he's able to overcome this. They're gambling and they're betting that what they've got is good enough. How sure are you? How sure are you? Are you 100% sure? If you're not, why not overkill? This is my point. This is not your normal team build. This is not your normal, hey, let's be smart, let's be judicious, let's be thrifty, let's be thoughtful, let's, add some pieces, layer some talent, take a defensive tackle that won't play for me much this year, but next year he'll be really good. And here's a slot corner in the second round when we could have taken receivers, et cetera, et cetera. Not for me. Maximize and protect. Maximize and protect. None of the other stuff matters. Frankie Louvu doesn't matter. Whoever starts opposite Jeremy Chin in their Cobra safety package, who's the third safety? Who's going to be the guy that's sometimes a slot corner? How does Quan Martin develop? Cute, adorable, precious, doesn't matter. Jaden Daniels matters. You have turned everybody's future over to Jaden Daniels. Rightfully so, by the way. It's what you should do. How could you not use the tools at your disposal? It's the only thing that Rivera and the Martys did right, was leave this cupboard pretty empty without a bunch of clutter in it. You turned over the roster already, recognizing how untalented they were in a lot of spots. I cannot believe they aren't so desperate to enhance and do everything possible to help Jaden Daniels. Now, again, part of this, as Schefter's reporting, maybe that San Francisco doesn't want to trade Brandon Aiyuk. That's fine. My point is, where are you on the Keenan Allen deal? Where are you when receivers are changing teams? Maybe you don't want Stephon Diggs because he's got a dude that you don't like. Fine. Doesn't have that commander's label or whatever the hell that thing is. Fine. Totally fine. Somebody, show me that you're desperate, man. Show me that you're desperate and you understand the urgency here to maximize, that's all the weapons, and protect, that's all the linemen. Maximize and protect. You tippy-toed. You went a little way down the line, getting Austin Eckler. Great, awesome. Safety valve, great in pass pro. I am a huge fan of that acquisition. That, to me, was their smartest and best offseason maneuver, was grabbing Austin Eckler for next to nothing. Everybody's excited about, I think the defense will be appreciably better. I think the defense will improve under Witt and Dan Quinn. Look at the linebacking upgrades. That's nice. That's all adorable. I don't care about that, and neither should you. If this team was supposed to win this year, if this team was a reigning division champ or had realistic aspirations of winning 11 games for the first time in more than 30 years, we could be talking about that. I got news, and I'm sorry about it. Here's the story, Jaden Daniels. Here's the next story, Jaden Daniels. And you got to go down 77,000 clicks. You keep sliding down with that mouse. Slide down before you get to a non-Jaden Daniels thing. Sorry. That's the story. How everybody does If everyone's key card works in 3 years, it's Jaden Daniels. If Dan Quinn is successful here, Jaden Daniels. Joe Witt, Jaden Daniels. Kingsbury, Jaden Daniels. Everybody. It's all related to that quarterback. I'm sorry. It is. How could you not do everything possible? So here's what I'm going with to stat this radio program. Tweet me at Funny Danny. Get your butts in the comment section on the YouTubes. Give us a phone call. 800-636-1067. 800-636-1067. Here is how we're starting this radio program. I think they have to do this. I think Washington has left themselves very little choice. They should have been in on other guys. They weren't. If Aiyuk is at all available, you have to get him. I think they have to do this. They don't seem to. And a lot of you don't seem to. You're doing a thing where you go, well, I know I'm homeless, but this house, and I've got some money, but this house is a little bit out of my price range. You got to be desperate, man. You've got to overpay. This is the position that you have. You are better off than a lot of teams right now. You can strike. I don't care about your slow build, 2-3 year plan. This is a break glass case. You have a rookie quarterback. Everything depends on him. How could you sleep at night with opportunities to make his weaponry and protection better? How? I'm hopeful Jahan Dotson bounces back and has a good season. I'm hopeful Luke McCaffrey's the thing. Hope don't fill up that fact bucket. Hope is nice. Hope is the very best of things. Morgan Freeman, Shawshank Redemption. Ryan is in the file. I don't do hope. I do reality. I'm pragmatic. Do everything you possibly can, and they have not. No objective person could tell you they've done everything they possibly can to help that offense. Nobody could. There is nobody in their right mind who could say they've done everything possible. They've gone all out. There is no possible room to improve a single member of that offense. Tackle, receiver, otherwise. If you in your right mind can tell me they've done everything, I'll ask you to go home, go to ourlads.com, then pull up a separate window, do a little Control-T or a Command-T if you have a correct Mac, okay? Then go to Spot Track. Go to the free agent list of guys that have been signed. Navigate there for NFL free agents. And you tell me with a straight face they've done everything they can. If you still can't come up with that, close out all your browsers, open them up again, and try it again. They haven't. They are betting on what they've got. That is not a bet I would make. They're making it, though. It would be great if I'm wrong and they're right. It would go such a long way to validating that this group really is smarter than everybody else. I see a dire need. They don't. They are smarter than me. I'm not making any kind of claim. All I see, calling balls and strikes over here, is a ball in the opposite batter's box. I see a glaring issue that I'm desperate to fill. I need them to do this. So here's my case. I'll say it succinctly. 800-636-1067. This Aiyuk thing, they got to do it. They have to do it. I wouldn't have said that 3 months ago because I assumed they were going to do something. They didn't. They have to do this.